I'm on the battlefield for my Lord. I am on the battlefield for my Lord. And I promised him that I would serve him till I die. I am on the battlefield for my Lord. I am on the battlefield for my Lord. I am on the battlefield for my Lord. And I promised him that I would serve him till I die. I am on the battlefield for my Lord. I was alone and idle, and I was a sinner too. Y'all remember that song? I heard a voice from heaven saying there is work to do. So I took my master's hand and I joined the Christian band. I am on the battlefield. Come on, y'all, for my Lord. I am on the battlefield. All right, listen, hey. That's that old school stuff. And we are in Association Advent. So I have to sing it just to bring me to that place where I will be arrested from the successes and spirituality of our forefathers and ancestors, which has really helped navigate us up into this present moment. Good morning to everybody. We say good morning on Instagram. Good morning to you, Instagram family. Yeah, this is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. We're about to change up some things. We're about to play our introduction. We need you engaged. We need you ready to just help us go our limits and get through this today. Good morning to you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, cousin. About to play introduction, and we're going to have us a marvelous show today. Everybody put in the chat, wonderful Wednesday. Wonderful Wednesday. Good morning, it's Capri Cares. Know that I care that I know. This is our daily motivation and inspiration for our mental health ministry here at the Ephesian Primitive Baptist Church. It's Capri Cares. Know that I care that I know. All right, we say, listen, it's a wonderful Wednesday today. Good morning to everybody. We are grateful that you have joined us on Capri Cares today. Hey, we are going to have us a show. But before we even get started, I want to put this up in the chat. I want you to see that Speakeasy Summit, the master teacher herself, Don Marie. School days prepare to be better. The Speakeasy Summit, the public speaking master class, focus and flow, time mastery toolkit, and emotional intelligence over everything. EI over everything. You go here, go to that barcode, and you can get registered. Want you to register for these master classes. They will make a significant impact in your life. And that's one of her books. That is one of her books. Glad to have you this morning on the live stream, everybody. That is one of her books. So we are asking that you get that resource as well. Now, let me take that down. Good morning. It's a wonderful Wednesday, everybody. I'm trying to get everything together. I'm holding it together the best I know how. Knowing my limits is very important, and I'm becoming more emotionally intelligent when I operate within that framework. Somebody put intelligent. Knowing your limits is intelligent. Somebody put that in the chat. No, oops. Knowing your limits is intelligent. All right, listen. Saints. How it's Wednesday, and I need to ask this question, and I want to put this up here. How are you mastering the presence of God? How are you doing that? How are you doing that? How are we mastering the practice of his presence? Because in his presence, there's fullness of joy. And I need to know my limits. And when I master the presence of God, trust me, it brings me to a better place and an awareness in me that I can navigate through these tough spaces and even enjoy me in the good spaces. Because sometimes we get in a place, Shannon, where we've done some things correctly and ethically, but we still don't enjoy what we've done because we have not yet ascertained what we need to ascertain as it relates to the limits, our limits. So, how have you mastered the practice of God's presence today? Give you some options, and then I'm gonna get into my exhortation, y'all, and then I'm gonna be done. Number one, if you want to master God's presence today, I want you to visualize Him in your mind. Mhm. Affirm His nearness in your heart. There it is. Access God's nearness through prayer and reflect his presence in your demeanor. 4 ways, according to our author, Robert J. Morgan, The Red Sea Rules. This is how we master his presence in our life. And I hope, ma'am and sir, you have gotten to the place where you can master the presence of God. I'm going to stop dropping that. Having some difficulties. Okay. Can y'all hear me? Shannon, can y'all still hear me? I apologize for what just happened, but things happen. So we're mastering God's presence today, affirming his nearness in your heart, visualizing God's presence in your mind, accessing God's nearness through prayer, and reflecting his presence in your demeanor. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. The internet is okay, cool. All right, listen. Knowing our limits, getting to that place where we are knowing our limits and operating within our limits, that framework that has truly been what we need to do and how we're doing that. Let me remove that. Let me make sure that everybody had an opportunity to see that because it's very important, of course, that we master his presence, especially when we learn in us. Paul says something. He said, I see through a glass darkly, and then face to face we shall be known as we have been known. So I am at this place and space and juncture in life where this new me has to tolerate the old you, or vis-a-vis, vice versa. An old you is trying to tolerate a new person. And usually that brings us to a place of conflict when new meets old. And I'm just gonna be really candid. New will meet old, and old will meet new, and it's oh, I gotta see. Excuse me. Mm. And when new meets old and old meets new, it can be catastrophic if you don't have the emotional intelligence to handle the new and the old and the old and the new, and knowing how to allow yourself to negotiate the time. Thank you, Antoinette. That you spend with the old person and the old mindsets and the new person and the new mindsets and the shifts that it takes, because it takes a shift. Good morning, Don Marie. I hope you were on earlier. I did uh, promote and highlight the master's class. So, Don, if you want to put that in the chat again and we can hold it up there, I would greatly appreciate it. But Antoinette, you're learning the new you. The new you thinks different. The new you talks different. But then there's an old you that still thinks the way it thinks and talk or communicates and behaves the way it behaves. And even on yesterday, I had to learn how to reference something in a way, Antoinette, that the new me could respond appropriately rather than react inappropriately. I had to put a new framework together. I had to, so I could respond appropriately rather than inappropriately. And even in my response appropriately, there were some individuals who were walking in the old mindset that thought my response was not appropriate. But guess what? That I can't worry about what they think and how they felt in that moment. I had to share with them, okay, listen, y'all, we have to start putting some things and systems in places so that my reaction is not who I always am in that and who I'm always going to be. Thank you, Don. Thank you for that. But yeah, we just go through life sometimes and think that we can always do what we always done. And that might have been, but that's not now. We can't always keep doing what we always done. And that means even in today, on today, his mercies are new every morning. Great is his faithfulness. I'm practicing his presence and my demeanor by showing up today. Now, I might not have the right vision. I might not affirm. I might not access, but I'm practicing his presence and my demeanor so that I know my limits. When I get to my limit today, Shannon, Dawn, Antoinette, when I get to my limit today, those that are watching, when I get to my limit today, hopefully I've practiced his presence enough in my life that my response won't be so reactionary, or it won't be a reaction that will keep me bound in an emotion, Don, that's totally toxic and unhealthy. I mean, sometimes you leave the presence of people and you're like, what was that? Like, really? Like, serious? That's what you think? That's how we think? That's how we do things? Are you really serious? Like, seriously? But then you have to grow and get to that place, Don. That's why emotional intelligence is so important. That's why growth is so important. That's why Capri Cares is so important, because I do not want to minimize the grace of God on my life by getting caught up in reactions or giving people reactions that have me captive or hold me captive to something that is totally not me, inappropriate. Let's see. We'll close with that, Antoinette. Our reaction and interpretation will always show our growth in God. All right. It will not be instant, but it will be noticed by God as well as self. That's good. I'm going to give you some kudos on that, girl. You better shout. You better shout. That's right. You better shout. So listen, know your limits today. 6 o'clock tonight, I will have noonday Bible study. And 6 o'clock tonight, it will be uploaded. So get ready for Bible study, the Red Sea Rules. Don't forget to praise him. It's chapter 10. We are finishing chapter 9. Trust God to deliver in his own unique way. And we're learning to trust God because we are learning our limits, and we are making sure that we are not limited by our limits. But God is faithful and just and will help us overcome those things. So yes, Antoinette, growth is necessary, Don. Yes, growth will be noticed by God and others. And you cannot get so wrapped up in what you think other people think, how they interpret what you said, even if it's not even if that's not how you want it to be communicated. Don't get caught up in that today. Hey, go love on somebody today. Go love on yourself and know this. You stand under an open heaven and will receive everything God has for you today. So you're not limited at all. You will be blessed exceedingly abundantly above all God can ask or think. Have a marvelous day in the Lord. I will see y'all back here 12 o'clock sharp. Peace.